Today it's Thursday, September 18, 2025, and this is the differential, the carrier from the differential, from the M5. What I did today, I was willing to drill this pin that was located here, not there, okay? But it's very hard and it's gonna take more time. Alright, so what I end up doing, I get the Dremel, I cut it till I found the pin here at this point, alright, and then I cut also this one, and then I hammer the ring. You see where I hammer it, this was out, this was somewhere here I think, and I hammered it, it came out, it had a space, alright. And I did the same thing on that. You see here my marks. This was not like that. This is from me. Okay? And like I said, I don't care about this nut, this ring, because they provide a new one with a kit. And this is nice. This is beautiful. Alright? Now, headache number one. Independent choke on the 4 jaws, on the lathe, and I have to chase the threads. Why? What's this? This spins counterclockwise, it's bolting down. Clockwise, it's coming loose. Alright, you can see the threads. I didn't even attempt, you can see that I didn't even attempt to lose it. Alright, my target was here, and I said, okay, I have the Dremel. So since I reach here, I'm opening also from this side, and I split in the middle. Alright, so don't have any headache. Now, what's this? You see the threads here? This is where was the pin. Because it's round, they drill this one actually, and then they force it inside, and then they pinch it up here and here to close it, don't go out. Alright, so you have a healthy threads here, and then here it's not so healthy, the threads. It's flat actually. This hat's supposed to be, this hat's here. No worries, I'm gonna mount it on the choke, I'm gonna zero it out, I'm gonna chase a little bit, and then I'm gonna try also the ring at the same time to be okay. Forget about that, it's fine, this is not a big deal. Then, pay attention on that gear there inside. I mean this gear, but the other one from the other side, alright? It looks nice and sharp, it looks beautiful, as it's supposed to be. Alright, you see the teeth over there, nice and sharp. You see the other side teeth, beautiful, nice and sharp. See the same thing also here, I mean even if I turn it around, it's nice. There is no wear. Alright, I'm talking about these teeth, I'm talking about, alright. Even on the sun gears, here there is a minor, but not something crazy. There is, but not something crazy, alright? I have seen much worse, and they're running and I don't make any sound. Fine. The shaft looks okay. I don't see any problem. I cannot remove the shaft. I cannot remove these gears. Why? Because the ring, it's been welded on the carrier. It does have a bolts, alright? Let me show you. You see? No bolts, just weld. Is that amazing? Yeah. Then, let's go to this gear. This is different story. This, if you pay attention on this gear, you're gonna see that has too much wear. I mean, obviously it's from the side that's pushing the power. From this side it's nice and clean. From this side here it's nice and clean. Alright? How it's supposed to be, but from this side it has much more wear. See the difference? This is how it's supposed to be. Alright, and this is how it ends up. Why is that? I'm gonna give you my opinion why is that. If from the factory there was some preload and there was not relying only on the electric motor, or I don't know if you can do it through the software, to be honest. All right? This is not gonna happen. This is what's happening. As soon as it spins, it finds the way and it pushes it up. It pushes it outside. That's why you see the seams. If you pay attention on the seams, there is a lip on the seam. All right, in all of the seams actually. There are 6 seams in total. And you can see the I just wash the parts for the first wash. I have to wash them again. You see this. And this, when it's here inside, this indicates that this was coming up. It found a space and it was coming up. It was not staying in place. All right, that's what that means. That's why the seam, it's like this. And not only this one, all of them. The one that are farther away, this was more near. That means this, you see how it is? This was there. And as more out you're going, so less where you see, because it didn't touch that much. All right, let's put the seams inside. By the way, it's exactly the same orientation like when I remove it, okay? That means, you see this plate, it goes like that inside. All right, then let's put the gear in place here. Then you have a clutch. It's a used one, by the way. These are the OEM parts. Fine. I have a reason why I want to do that. Let me put them all in, and then I'm going to show you. The washer goes this way. We can keep it here for now. Let me transfer this stack there. It's the same thing. I mean, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put one steel plate here, then the friction plate there. It's exactly, like I said, it's exactly the same orientation like when I remove it. I didn't mix up the order by any means. I have a reason. Better to be on the same orientation. 1 second for you. All right, so I placed them all in place. This is the top one. You see that from this side does have a wear, from this side has some wear. Fine. See the difference here? Then it comes, there is this difference on this steel plate. All right? But this steel plate comes like that there, and then there is need to measure it. It comes 2 sets of gears, one to each other. This is with that, and the clearance doesn't affect, obviously doesn't affect the clutch. It's the clearance between the two bearings, between this bearing and the other bearing there. Now, on this plate here, you see the pattern from before. In the middle has some marks all around. Okay, from this side does have any. It's because it steps on the metallic plate. All right, it comes this piston on top. All right, fair enough. And this needs to be clocked. This pin here, it goes on this point there, and this comes inside like this. All right, if you remember, before I open it, before I remove the nut, I was able to spin this. If you go to watch the previous video, through these holes, I was spinning this washer. That means I was able to spin this washer, all right, inside. That means there was zero preload. There was not any preload on the clutch pack here. But the gear, it shouldn't be able to move up. Why? Because you have a steady point here. You have a steady point here, this friction washer, all right, the seam. You have the 2 sets of gears. Let me install it again without the clutch. I'm gonna put them all inside, but without the steel plates and the clutches. I'm gonna keep only the inner part. Why I wanna do that? I wanna see why it found a way the upper gear, the sun gear, to move this way and has this kind of wear. Okay, clutch pack out in order. I need what I need. I need this. It doesn't matter this plate down there, because this, it comes like that inside, right? Yes, it comes like that. Fine, it doesn't matter even this plate here up. We can keep it here all together. And then you put this in place. This, it's supposed to bottom out. You see the marks here? Is corresponding to these holes here. It has to bottom out here and should give some clearance only for the, it cannot be seized completely because you're gonna have a scoring. It needs to have some clearance, obviously, right? And this, it has to pass the shaft through that to spin both together, because one, it's for the clutches, the other one's for the gear. All right, let me put it inside. I didn't press it in. I get the mallet, the rubber hammer, and I tap it on top. All right, let's see, did I put it all the way in? What I'm looking for here to have a contact over there. It looks like it has a contact. Looks like it has a contact. Same thing there. Yep, it looks like it has a contact all the way around. Alright, you can see that up. Fine. I didn't put the pin, but you see it's near to where it's supposed to be. I didn't put that pin inside. It doesn't matter for now. Now what matters? This what matters. This play, this movement, is not gonna change. What I mean, it's not gonna change. Doesn't matter how much I'm gonna preload the clutch pack. Doesn't matter what I'm gonna put here. This is to hold it, but the gear, you're gonna always have this play. For me, it's too much. You're gonna say, Tassos, you haven't even measured it. Yeah, but I have opened, I don't know how many differentials. I don't know, I'm gonna say 200-300 differentials. I don't even remember, all right? But this, what you see here, to me, this is more than a millimeter. And the inner one's supposed to move freely. It's supposed to move freely, yeah, normal. I mean, whoever opened before differential and you see these gears, I have shown you in the previous videos for different differentials, yeah. It never has so much clearance. This, I mean, if it was designed to run so far out from the other gears, I understand. But I can see a wear. If I didn't see any wear on this gear, I'm not gonna say anything, I'm not gonna talk about it. Let me remove the hat. And then with what we can play with. We cannot touch this, Because what is gonna happen? If I touch this, if I machine it as an example, this to go more down, so the inner to go more down, to have more less clearance, you are gonna go far away with the bearing. So the preload on the carrier is gonna change completely. Fine, I'm not talking about this one, because on this one, if you machine anything from this side, here for this bearing, you're gonna go far away the ring from the pinion. Then you're gonna have different problems. Then you have to change the, forget about that. We are talking about here. Here, what makes sense to be done? Wait, let me take it out. All right, before I continue, I just wanna say that again. I am gonna get some more precise measurements. I'm not gonna rely on the finger and how I can see the gear from the side, all right, obviously. Now, like I said, I'm not touching this hut here because I'm gonna create more problems. If I remove, let us say, some materials, it depends the clearance, it depends the height, all right. If I remove some materials from here to bring this area near to the washer, then I'm gonna have problem with the bearing. That means how much material I'm gonna remove from this lip. I have to add a seam here, so when it comes the bearing, to have this distance, this difference, all right? Forget that, I'm not gonna do that. It makes sense to change this friction washer here, the thrust washer, and as I can see here, has some wear. I haven't get any measurement, like I said, but there is some wear on that. It makes sense to make one washer where is the magnet? Alright, makes sense. How much hard is this one now? This is stepping. Why to have this pattern? Why to have more wear here? Because it's on the edge, so it's the lip of this gear. Yeah, and that's why it's stepping. I was stupid, glad I don't understand. Yeah, so getting a measurement from here to here, then get a measurement from here till here, find how much clearance leaving, and then we might need to make one friction washer. Or we might check if they're selling friction washers different sizes. With what else we're gonna fit now, this one? We're gonna fit from any other diff or what? Never mind. One thing I want to address that. Definitely I want to address that. Because to me, it doesn't make any sense to have that much clearance. This you cannot mix up, you cannot put it upside down because it has this slip inside, alright? And it has some wear, but it's not that much crazy the wear because you can still see the machining lines. And the same thing also here, you can still see the machining lines. It's not perfect straight, you see that it's applying more forces on this side than this side. Yeah, that's a different story. Dang it, dang it. All these things, I need to file it, because if I don't file all these edges, you're gonna end up inside of the diff, and plus it's creating a weak point. Some people, they're gonna say, you know what, yeah, you need this clearance because of the expansion. When you're gonna warm up the diff, the carrier, it doesn't warming up that much. I mean, it's going 100 degrees Celsius, and this is cast steel. It's not aluminum that we're gonna expand too much, if you like, all right? I mean, if you compare the other side, you can compare the other side, how much it moves. It barely moves. You cannot even understand. I'm pushing now with my finger from down. I'm doing the same thing instead of doing from here that I was doing before, that I can make it from the side that I was taking the clearance. I'm doing the same thing on the lower gear down there, and it barely moves up and down. I can measure it, it's not a problem. And this is supposed to have also a seam between. Supposed to have another one was like that there, but like I said, it doesn't have a bolts to remove the ring, because the shafts for the sun gears, see where's the shaft? See where's the shaft? See where's the shaft there? Isn't that amazing? You have to remove the ring to be able to reach on the shaft, and it doesn't make any sense to open it because I don't have any problem with this stuck down here. All of my problems are here. That's been compromised the gear. See here? Ideally, if I had a new one, it's gonna be amazing, I don't have a new one. You know what? Let's upload this video to see also my friend. Alright? What I'm talking about here. What options we have. I'm not saying if I close by again, yes, it's gonna work, even as it is. Then there is another measurement what I want to check. Let me put also this on the video. Let me put also this on the video to finish the story. I'm not putting any of this, just want to show you what's my point. Okay, what's my plan? These are the OEM clutch pack, how I remove it, exactly same orientation. Fine, fine. Now, what's my plan? You see how much the clearance here? This. And you see how much the distance here from this point to this point. Alright? And the same thing from here to here. Anything between this and this, if you have any spring, let me bring it to show you. I'm talking about the preload. You're gonna apply some forces. That's my point here, not this one. Let's get the clutch pack. It's not now the time to get the thickness from the clutches, to see how many clutches they're putting more inside. Doesn't matter this, all right? But this here, this curve, how many kilos you need, let us say, to make it flat? How much we're gonna apply? As an example, you might need, you put it like that, and then you squeeze it down, right? So if you apply 100 kilograms to come flat, and to come flat here, always needs to have this surface here, needs to have contact with this surface here, all right? Because of the bearing, like I said. If you apply, example, if you apply 100 kilograms on that with a 1/10 of millimeter clearance, 2/10 maximum, yeah, 1 to 2/10 of millimeter clearance, okay? Not even 1/10, 1/10 is too much. 2 to 300 millimeter clearance, not 1/10. It's not, it's still. If you apply 100 kilos, that means the motor through the gear, through the piston, it has to apply, it's gonna start apply pressure on this plate, that means on the clutch pack. You're gonna have how much torque you're gonna give you the motor plus the 100 kilograms from the spring. If it makes sense what I'm saying, right? It's, imagine, let us say that somebody already pushing the clutches with 100 kilos force, all right? That's enough, let us say, to break loose when you're turning left and right. You're not gonna be annoying, you're not gonna have any problem. You can make U-turn, you're not gonna be like a welded diff, all right? Just explain, I'm just saying. And then plus the forces of the motor that you're gonna apply through the piston on the clutch pack. From the factory, not from the factory, not from the factory. From factory there is some preload, but not that much. As it was when I opened it, like I said, I was spinning this plate. You can see that I get the screwdriver and I just make like that, and I can turn it through these holes. If had any preload, I shouldn't be able to turn this one, to spin that one so easy. So when I opened it, there was a 0 preload, right? Okay. We're gonna see that at the end, when I finish from this, you're gonna see that I'm gonna put lubrication everywhere, obviously, it's gonna be full of oil, alright? You're gonna see that I'm gonna try to spin this washer with the same way, like what I did before I opened it, and I'm not gonna be able to do it. Because we're gonna have some preload here. I'm gonna make sure to have some preload here. That's a different story. What else can you do? No, this area here, if you touch this area, you should put another clutch or steel plate, because we're gonna increase the distance. I have to count also how many steel plates. These are oily, no problem, it's always welcome. It's just an oil, this is completely dry, these parts. I need to check also the clearance, but this is not a big deal. The clutches are not big deal. All the storage for this stupid thing and the washer here, and to go to chase the threads on the lathe. And that's what I'm gonna do now, because, you know, let's make it one at a time. let's go to clean the threads, right? Upload also this video to watch my friend because I'm talking too much. All right, and then I'm gonna see. I don't have materials. I don't have CK45. It's gonna work. I think it's gonna be fine. 45 HRC. CK45 is gonna be fine. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. That's it for now. Let's upload this part, and then the next part you're gonna see. I need to find also the copper. They have a leaf to grab it here, and it might not be perfect straight, the threads, because they don't care that much about the threads. They do care about it, this to center, at this area here, on this lip. That's why I want to put it on the independent choke, because if there is any run out, I can adjust it. Outside's machined, yes it is. I'm gonna have a reference, and then I'm gonna make, what's the thread pitch on this one? Oh, it's a counterclockwise, eh? Don't forget that. Oh boy, I might F up everything now. Now it came to my mind, because I'm thinking myself going to the lathe, setting it up everything, and then to make clockwise threads, not counterclockwise. What I mean counterclockwise now, this nut it's supposed to be bolted like this, like you're losing it. And it goes like that and then stops. I don't want to force it. I don't want to F myself up. Like I said, let's go to clean the threads. Enough talking. Enough talking, enough with the video. Thank you. Over and out. Next part, most probably today, we're gonna see.